I'm Sean, and this is the leather case I made for myself. Now, before I go into any details of how I made this, I wanted to show you my old case that I had prior to this, which is this guy over here. And I had this for over about 5 years, where I stuck some extra leather samples that I made. If you look at the details, there is Rexy over here on the top. We have some Coach hang tags as well as some leather patches here. There's a Sleeping Beauty sticker, which was a collaboration with Disney. Loafer vamps. This one studded, while this one has stitching details on it. A bag anchor over here. And then lastly is this alligator card holder where I put my ID in. Now, the reason I wanted to replace this guy over here is because I wanted something more functional. I think I really like how it looked up to this point and how much fun I had with it. With my current job right now, I work remotely, and because of that, I would forget a lot of things to bring with me sometimes, whether it's the SSD card, the connector, my coffee loyalty card, something maybe small or maybe notes that I had prior. And because of that, it would really throw off my work setup. And then I thought, well, I never really forget about my laptop, so why don't I just stick everything onto it? And that's pretty much how I got into making this guy. So let's get into how I made this. So I started by doing some quick ideation by using Illustrator. I try to get a general sense of what I want to add onto this case. For me, my thought process was needing space for 2 SSD cards where I usually edit my videos, and then the other card is more for my other design projects. I also wanted to have 2 card slots to be added on there, a small slot, and this is just more for general stickies or notes. And the last one is 1 coaster. And after I got a general idea of the designs and what I wanted, I ordered a clear case on Amazon so I could attach all the leather pieces onto the case instead of directly onto my laptop. After the case came in, I wanted a general measurement around the corners as well as the length and the width. I started by using masking tape to tape it down and drawing the general placements of it. And after I did that, I started peeling it off so I could use it as a template. As for the leather, I'll be using the same one as the Hermes card holder that I had from last time, which is the Swift leather in the color gold. I ordered a big piece of this, and because of that, I do want to continue to use the same material. As you can see in comparison, my card holder is slightly darker for months of wear, whether it was exposed to sunlight, greasy fingers, or all the food I was eating around it. But you can see the similarities in color based on the interior side that hasn't been exposed. Now here are the tape as well as the paper templates that I got. I'm going to place it down over the leather so I could have a general sense of how much I may need. I'll start by working on the case itself. I cut a big piece of it where I know there isn't much of a stretch mark or any other blemishes from the leather. I then used a heat crease of 2mm along the edges to give more of that cleaner look. And then I pricked about 3mm from the edge using a 3mm pricking iron. Then I used a contrasting white thread and saddle stitched them all around. Now I'll put this body case on the side and now walk you through the 2 card holders. I initially used the general measurement using the existing card holder I have, but just doubled it and also changed the designs around it. I then also applied a 2mm heat crease along the edges and then applied the same stitching, the color and the sizing all around. And then afterward, I applied edge paint for the pieces on the thicker edges. For the coaster holder, I used a masking tape as a template to cut out half of the piece. And also did the same heat crease as well as stitching all around it and then stitched it directly to the case. Now moving on to the pockets, by making the pocket onto the base itself. All I need to do is slit an opening onto the base, and pretty much what I did was I backed it with this hallucinogenic black fabric that I have, which helps contain some of the items I will put inside of it. And after gluing it around the edges, I then stitched it directly onto the case. Now for the SSD card. This one is pretty simple. I pretty much wrapped it with the leather that's been stitched prior, so nothing is stitched directly onto the SSD card. I'm sure some of you are thinking, is this gonna overheat or is this gonna affect the usability of the SSD card? I did some testing around it, however it just became like lukewarm at best. Now, because I have two SSD card, or if not maybe multiple in the future, I want it to be easily swappable. I added this Velcro at the back so I can switch between them whenever I need them. Now that I have all the pieces ready, I'm going to assemble all the remaining pieces onto the case. First, I'm marking it where I want both of my SD cards to be positioned using the masking tape. Next, I figured out the placement for the Velcro, marked it, and then cut out the pieces. After that, I'm doing the same thing with the card holder, marking the general placement and then gluing it down. Normally, I would roughen up the smooth surface before gluing it to ensure a better adhesive, but I decided to skip that only because I was planning to stitch them anyways all together. With everything in place, I removed all the tapes. And finally, bringing back the clear case. My original plan was to glue the whole leather onto the case, but I actually didn't have the right adhesive on hand, so I opted in using the double-sided tape for now. This pretty much lets me see the final results without committing to it, and I could always permanently glue it later on. For the final touch, adding on the Velcro pieces. And there we have it. A custom leather case that is functional and tailored to my specific needs. I'm really happy about how it turned out, from the card holder to the SSD pockets and even the little coaster holder. So let's just hope I don't forget anything when I work remotely from now on. So if you enjoyed this process or learning something new, please consider following me as well as giving me a thumbs up on this video, and consider subscribing for more projects. For anyone interested in making their own case, I provided a design template below to help you get started, but feel free to do whatever you like with it. And if you have any questions or you want to share anything that you customize, please drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and until next time.